However, it wasn't straightforward. When I began, I was terribly nervous. My accent was different, my words felt clumsy, and fear held me back. I was frightened of sounding foolish, afraid that people would laugh at me. But do you know what? I kept going, step by step, rather like a baby learning to walk. I stumbled, picked myself up, and gradually, bit by bit, I found my voice. Perhaps you're experiencing that same fear right now. Maybe you're shy, quiet, or scared of making mistakes. Let me tell you this, mistakes aren't the enemy, silence is. If you never speak, you'll never grow. Learning to speak English is rather like jumping into a swimming pool for the first time. It's frightening initially, but the more you swim, the more natural it feels. Before you know it, you're not merely surviving, you're thriving. So today, I want to be that voice telling you, don't be afraid to speak. Simply start. Even if it's messy, even if it's broken, even if it's just one word, because every conversation takes you one step closer to the fluent, confident version of yourself you're meant to become.
One of the finest ways to learn English is through listening. When you listen to English, your ears become accustomed to the sounds. You hear how words are pronounced, and you learn new phrases without even realizing it. It's rather like listening to music. The more you listen, the more you understand.
Another way to improve your speaking is by practicing with friends, or even by yourself. Sometimes I speak to myself in English. It might feel rather silly, but it helps enormously. You can pretend you're having a conversation, ask yourself questions and answer them. The more you speak, the better you become. Don't worry if you don't know many words. You don't need fancy vocabulary to speak well. Simple words are quite sufficient. Just focus on saying what you want to say, even if it isn't perfect. People will understand, and over time you'll learn more words naturally. When I was learning, I used to think, what if people laugh at me? But then I realized that if I didn't speak, I'd never improve. So I spoke anyway. And guess what? Most people were kind. They didn't laugh, they helped me instead. If you're nervous, that's perfectly normal. It's natural to feel that way. But don't let that stop you. Take a deep breath, smile, and start talking. The more you do it, the easier it becomes. Another thing that helped me tremendously was reading aloud. When you read, your brain becomes accustomed to seeing and saying the words. It's like exercising your muscles. The more you do it, the stronger you become. Also, don't be afraid to ask for help. If you don't know how to say something, it's perfectly fine to ask someone. We all need assistance sometimes, and asking questions is how we learn. One last thing I want to say is this: believe in yourself. If you think I can't do this, then it will be difficult. But if you tell yourself I can learn this, you'll see progress. English isn't hard if you take it one step at a time.
Imagine you're climbing a mountain. You don't reach the summit in one enormous leap. You take one small step, then another, and another. Before you know it, you've reached the top. It's exactly the same with learning to speak English.
So I encourage you all to start today. Speak English as much as you can. Don't worry about making mistakes. Don't worry if it isn't perfect. Just speak. In the end, learning English is like planting a tree. You water it every day and it grows slowly. But one day, you'll see that it has grown tall and strong, and you'll feel proud of yourself for not giving up. Remember, the most important thing isn't how quickly you learn, but that you never stop trying. So keep going, keep talking, and one day you'll be able to say, I did it.
I remember the first time I attempted to have a full conversation in English. My heart was racing, my palms were sweaty, and I could feel my voice trembling. I was so frightened of saying the wrong thing, but I did it anyway. I spoke, and even though I made mistakes, I felt proud because I tried.
You see, speaking English isn't about being perfect, it's about being brave. Every time you speak, you're one step closer to becoming better. It's like a muscle. If you don't use it, it remains weak. But the more you speak, the stronger your English becomes.
When I started learning, I watched films and television programs in English. Initially, I didn't understand much, but I kept watching. I paid attention to how people spoke, how they used their hands, their faces, and their voices. It taught me that speaking English isn't just about words, it's also about emotions.
If you want to connect with people, don't be afraid to show your feelings when you speak. Smile when you're happy, frown when you're confused, and use your hands to express yourself. Language is more than words, it's the way you communicate your heart. Sometimes when you're learning, you might feel stuck. You may think, I've been studying for so long, but I'm not improving. This is perfectly normal. Learning a language is like climbing a hill. Sometimes you move quickly, and sometimes it feels slow. But even when it feels slow, remember that you're still moving forward. Don't give up, even when it feels difficult. One thing that helped me was setting small goals. I didn't aim to be perfect in one day. Instead, I set small daily targets. One day, I'd focus on learning new words. The next day, I'd concentrate on pronunciation. Bit by bit, I improved. Don't forget to celebrate your progress. When you learn a new word or have a conversation in English, take a moment to feel proud. Every little step is an achievement. Learning English is a journey, and every step you take brings you closer to where you want to be. I also found that keeping a journal in English helped me enormously. Every night before bed, I'd write about my day in simple English. It helped me practice thinking in English, and over time, I noticed my sentences improving. You don't need to write a great deal, even 1 or 2 sentences a day can help. When you're practicing speaking, try to think in English as well. Initially, you might translate from your language to English in your head, but try to move beyond that. Think in English as much as you can. It's like learning to dance. At first, you need to think about each step, but with practice, it becomes natural. Another thing that helped me was finding friends who wanted to practice English with me. We'd meet for coffee and speak only in English. At first, it was rather awkward because none of us were very good, but soon it became enjoyable. We learned together and laughed at our mistakes. You can do the same, find a friend or a group and practice speaking together. You might also feel nervous about speaking to native English speakers. I know I did. But most people are kind and patient. They don't expect you to be perfect, they understand that you're learning. So don't be afraid to speak with them. If you make a mistake, they might correct you, and that's a good thing. Every correction is an opportunity to learn something new.
There will be days when you feel frustrated. There will be times when you feel like giving up. But I want you to remember something very important. You're stronger than you think. You've already taken the first step by wanting to learn, and that takes courage.
Here's the beautiful part. No matter where you're from, no matter what your background is, English can connect you to the world. It's like a bridge that brings people together. When you speak English, you can travel, meet new people, and learn about different cultures. It's a key that opens many doors. So when you feel like giving up, remember why you started. Think about the opportunities that learning English will bring into your life. Imagine yourself in the future, speaking English confidently, making new friends, and achieving your dreams. Hold on to that vision and let it push you forward. Always remember to be kind to yourself. Learning a language isn't easy, and you're doing an amazing job. If you make a mistake, don't be hard on yourself. Instead, say, I'm learning, and I'm getting better every day. There will be moments when you surprise yourself. You might suddenly understand a conversation or say something without thinking too hard about it. These are the moments when you realize how far you've come, and those moments will keep coming as long as you keep trying. As I stand here today speaking to you in English, I want you to know that I was once in your shoes. I was scared, I made mistakes, and I wanted to give up, but I didn't. If I can learn to speak English, so can you. The journey might be long, but it's worth every step, because with every word you learn, with every sentence you say, you're building a brighter future for yourself. I remember the day when I realized that learning English wasn't just about understanding words, but about connecting with people. I was sitting in a park when a tourist approached me, asking for directions in English. For the first time, I didn't hesitate. I spoke with confidence. Even though my English wasn't perfect, the smile on their face when they understood me felt like magic. That's when I knew that English is a powerful tool, a way to bring people together.
Learning English has taught me more than just a language. It's taught me patience, resilience, and the importance of not giving up. Each word, each sentence is a small victory. Every time you speak, no matter how small the conversation, you're winning.
One of the things that really helped me was using English in my daily life. I didn't wait for a classroom or a special occasion to practice. I used English everywhere. I'd describe what I saw whilst walking down the street, or I'd think in English whilst doing simple tasks like cooking or cleaning. These little moments of practice add up over time.
I also love talking to myself in English. I'd pretend to have conversations with people. Sometimes I'd even act out scenes from films or television programs, just to practice speaking aloud. It might sound rather funny, but it helped me feel more comfortable with the language. The more I spoke to myself, the more natural English felt.
Here's something I learned that might surprise you. It's perfectly fine not to know everything. You don't need to know every word in the dictionary to speak English. Sometimes simple words are quite enough. What's important is that you can express your thoughts and feelings. Even if you don't know the perfect word, there's always a way to communicate. English, like any language, is about sharing your heart and mind with others. Another thing I want to share is how important it is to celebrate every little success. I remember the first time I ordered food in English at a restaurant. It was a small thing, but I felt so incredibly proud. Celebrate moments like these. Did you have a conversation in English today? That's amazing. Did you learn a new word? That's progress. Every step you take is a step closer to your goal. When you make a mistake, don't be discouraged. In fact, I want you to celebrate your mistakes. Why? Because mistakes are proof that you're trying. Each mistake is a lesson, an opportunity to learn something new. When I made mistakes, I used to feel embarrassed. But now I see them as opportunities to grow. You're not alone in this journey. There are millions of people around the world learning English just like you. Many of them feel exactly the same way, nervous, unsure, and afraid to make mistakes. But remember, we're all learners, and learning is a lifelong process. Even native English speakers learn new things about their language every day. If you ever feel stuck or feel like you're not improving quickly enough, I want you to take a deep breath and remind yourself that learning is a journey, not a race. Some days you'll make enormous leaps, and other days you'll take small steps. Both are important, and both bring you closer to your goal.
Confidence is key. Another important thing I want to discuss is confidence. Confidence doesn't come from being perfect. It comes from believing in yourself and being willing to try. When you speak English, speak with confidence. Even if you're unsure of your words, people will feel your energy, and that's what matters. Confidence is something you build over time, and the more you practice, the stronger it becomes.
Don't be afraid to practice with native speakers, even if you think your English isn't good enough. Most people are kind and happy to help. In fact, many native speakers admire people who are learning a new language because they know how challenging it can be. When I spoke to native speakers, I was nervous initially, but I quickly learned that they appreciated my effort, and many even helped me improve.
Try to surround yourself with English as much as possible. Listen to English music, watch English films, read English books or articles. The more you expose yourself to the language, the more natural it will feel. Don't worry if you don't understand everything at first. Over time, your brain will start to pick up patterns and things will make more sense.
Learning English can also be enjoyable. You can play games in English, sing along to songs, or join online groups where people from all over the world practice English together. There are so many ways to make learning fun. The key is to find what works best for you and to stay consistent.
Be kind to yourself. Learning a new language is one of the bravest things you can do. It's not easy and it takes time, but every day you spend learning is a step forward. You might not see progress immediately, but it's happening. You're getting better every single day.
At the end of the day, remember why you're learning English. Whether it's for your career, to travel, to meet new people, or simply to challenge yourself, hold on to that reason. Let it guide you and keep you motivated. When the journey feels long, remind yourself of the doors that will open once you've mastered the language. As you continue on this journey, I want to leave you with one final thought. English is more than just words. It's a bridge to new experiences, new friendships, and new opportunities. When you speak English, you're not just learning a language. You're stepping into a bigger world, a world full of possibilities. So keep speaking, keep learning, and never give up on yourself. One day you'll look back at this moment and realize how far you've come. And on that day, you'll smile and say, "I did it." Thank you for listening.